Welcome, everybody, to our CYstarters Demo Day, or our showcase at the end of our summer program. Welcome, parents and grandparents, family members. Raise your hand if you're in that group. Yay! Awesome. You have raised some amazing young people, so we were glad to have them here this summer. University folks, anybody who's with the university? A lot of people. Community. Awesome. Anybody I missed? A category I missed? Got everybody. So welcome to everybody today. This is a fun day. We have a lot to get through. I promise you, you will be entertained. These are amazing students, and they're great. We want to start. Oh, let's see. I got the slides here. Start just by recognizing and thanking our team. So the Papa John Center for Entrepreneurship resides here in the building. I'm Judi Eyles, been with the center since it started 26 years ago, and we have an amazing team of people that support all of our programs. In particular with CYstarters, I have to give some very special shout outs. So Megan Sweere, soon to be Megan Grettinger, really leads our program. She deserves a big round of applause. So Megan has not only coordinated CYstarters, she's also preparing for her own wedding in 3 weeks. So super communicator, super organized, and we're thankful for that. Jean Walsh and Megan spend all of our time doing accountability, so we meet regularly with the students. So Jean has poured her heart and soul into this program. You all know her very well. Round of applause for Jean Walsh. Thank you. Hopefully you've seen our marketing and social media for this program. So Sam, probably run around the camera up there on the stairs. Our marketing and special social media person who makes all of this look beautiful and communicates with all of you. Round of applause for Sam. And Ashley Sawyer, where are you? Right up there. So we have meetings about preparing for things, and we start to make a list, and before we can even write it down, she's already got half the list done. So Ashley gets a lot done, and round of applause for Ashley. Thank you. We had a special extended team member this summer, so Marcia Schouten is here somewhere, right back in the middle. Marcia is a faculty member in the Ivy College of Business in the Entrepreneurship and Management Department, and is our very first inaugural fellow from the Ivy College of Business working with us at the Papa John Center. So welcome to Marcia. And I have to say, Roger Susky in the back is our hired tech guy. He's amazing, and he is going to make this a wonderful event, and we'll have an awesome recording for anybody who couldn't come. So thank you, Roger, for being here. So CYstarters is, by design, an interdisciplinary program at the university. This is our 7th cohort. It would not be possible without the partnership of all of our college partners. So the 6 academic colleges on campus all are a part of this. They help us partner to provide programs that introduce students to these opportunities, but also help support this program financially. So I would like to thank all of the colleges. So the Ivy College of Business, Dean David Spalding, Andreas Schwab, and many other faculty members are partners with us in entrepreneurship. So thank you, College of Business. I guess we can do all these. College of Agriculture and Life Sciences, so Dean Robeson is our dean, and we partner very closely with Kevin Kimley and Marcy Fahn at the Ag Start Something program. You can give them a round of applause. College of Design, Dean Rico Gutierrez, and then Ana Luz, who's kind of bridging now between the College of Design and the Student Innovation Center, partners in College of Design. College of Engineering, Dean Easterling, and Dave Sly is our partner, faculty partner in the College of Engineering. Dave is here. College of Human Sciences, Dean Jolly, Laura Jolly is here, and I don't know if Linda Neem is here. Linda Neem is our academic partner in the College of Human Sciences. Thank you. College of Liberal Arts and Sciences, so Dean Schmidtman, as well as Kent Kirby, Assistant Dean, and then our former CYstarter and partner, Rebecca Runyon, who leads the the Liberal Arts and Sciences Innovation and Entrepreneurship Program over in LAS. Thank you. And I'm going to go circle back to David Spalding, who also serves as our Vice President for Economic Development Industry Relations, also supports this program, and he oversees all of us in this building. So thank you, EDIR. And everyone else in all of the colleges, and you all know who you are. This is a giant collaboration, and we appreciate working with all of you. Help us identify some of these students and support them through their journey at Iowa State. So thank you to everybody. So I'd like to take a minute to recognize our president, Wendy Winterstein, who is sitting right here in front. She is a super supporter of our programs. She's a super leader at Iowa State in entrepreneurship and innovation. Our CYstarters cohort members had the opportunity to have lunch with President Winterstein. It was super, yes. And she doesn't just have lunch, she asks them questions, she helps them make connections. She really gets to know our student entrepreneurs and then tells their stories. So we appreciate that very much. It's super, just saying. Some of our students had the opportunity to pitch in front of President Winterstein and Dean Spalding up at the Okoboji Entrepreneurship Institute. Needless to say, we think you're pretty super. So we have a gift for you today. So if you would stand up. This gift is special because it was made by one of our former CYstarters students, Grace and Burgess. I left it in the packaging because it's super cool. So you have to open your package from Comic Sandwiches. And it's a Superwoman shield. You're welcome. So thank you for starting something amazing at Iowa State University in entrepreneurship and innovation. You're our superhero, President Winterstein, so thank you. We have some pretty awesome leadership at Iowa State when it comes to entrepreneurship and innovation, and another one of our superheroes is David Spalding, who I've already introduced. He is the Dean of the Debbie and Jerry Ivy College of Business, also the Vice President for Economic Development and Industry Relations. And David Spalding was the person who said yes in 2016 to the first cohort of CYstarters. He's also provided significant funding and resources for the program, including our people, as well as financial support. So we really, really appreciate you as another superhero, and is going to provide remarks for us. So please welcome David Spalding.
Wow. I heard the parking lot was full, so this is great, really great. Thank you all for coming out for one of the most exciting days of the year for us here at Iowa State University, CYstarters Demo Day. And it's really great to have this opportunity to recognize these great students who chose to invest in themselves for the summer, really put themselves out, had amazing experiences over the summer. Let's congratulate them on being a part of this wonderful program. I can't wait to see them. I've seen some of them pitch before, some of them pitch a couple of times. Looking forward to seeing the final product here. So this is going to be great. So, you know, this is a part of a very strong effort we have, led from the top by Superwoman, President Winterstein, to really drive entrepreneurship and innovation here at Iowa State University. We have a long history of entrepreneurial activities and of innovation here at our university, but we've really brought it all together here in the 5 years of President Winterstein's time leading this institution, really given it greater prominence and made some real investments in these efforts in these programs. And they're paying off. Princeton Review, which is a purely objective ratings program. So over 300 colleges and universities submit data each year to the Princeton Review. The last 2 years, Iowa State University's undergraduate programs have ranked number 11 on that listing. Number 11, isn't that outstanding? And one of the institutions ahead of us is based in Mexico, so we are top 10 in the USA. But this really comes about as a result of a real investment over time, development of new academic programs. I've been the dean for 9 years. When I came in, I very quickly pulled together a group of faculty, pulled Judi in as a part of that, to really provide a game plan for how we could improve our efforts around entrepreneurship in the Ivy College of Business, and ultimately how we could drive greater collaborations at Iowa State. And one of the things that's made a difference for us is we've won different awards. USASB, which is the organization of higher education educators in the field of entrepreneurship, gave us their top award 18 months ago. And a major reason why we received that recognition was because we have all 7 colleges here at Iowa State University engaged in these activities. All 7 colleges have a Start Something program. All 7 colleges are collaborating together on how we can make entrepreneurship better here at Iowa State. And ultimately, the drive here is we want to create great opportunities for our students, and we have thousands of students who are engaged in entrepreneurial activities on this campus, from courses that they take through outside of the classroom activities they're engaged with. But we also really want to try to drive opportunities for businesses to get started up around discoveries that are made every day here in the laboratories at Iowa State University. And I want to commend Peter Hong, who's the director of our startup factory. Peter, congratulations. Thank you for Thank you for all your great work. And if you've got a great idea, if you really want to start a business, you're a little far, you've got that idea commercializable, ready to go, Peter's the one to talk to about trying to drive that all the way through. And I'll finish my remarks, though, about recognizing somebody who has been critical to these efforts at Iowa State University for 26 years, been here since the Papa John Center began. One thing we know in the Ivy College of Business, if you want a social media post to be a hit, just put Judi Eyles in it, because everybody likes Judi Eyles. Judi, thank you so much for everything you do for our efforts here at Iowa State.
It's still on. Awesome. Just some thank you both for being here and for your leadership. So 2022 cohort, all of you, today is your day. Congratulations for making it today. We have thoroughly enjoyed working with all of you this summer, and we hope you will continue to stay in touch, and we'll continue to support you. I'd like to bring up Megan Sweere, who really runs this program, and she's going to talk to you about what they've been through all summer, what the program is like, and so please welcome Megan, our fearless, very organized leader.
Thank you. Thanks, Judi. And thank you all for being here and supporting our CYstarters. This is the 7th cohort of CYstarters, and I was actually lucky enough to be a part of the first cohort. So this program holds an extra special place for me. So CYstarters is an 11-week program. So over the course of the summer, we have students intern for their own companies. So during that time, we intentionally spend time with students from each college. We want our groups to be very diverse, and in that we want diverse backgrounds, diverse business stages, so that they can learn from each other and grow together, and that's always so fun to watch happen. So what our program consists of, first is accountability. So our team hopes to mimic, while also holding their hand, what it will be like to own your own business and work for yourself. So at the very beginning of the summer, we asked them to create SMART goals for themselves and kind of plan out what they hope to accomplish during that time. Our team meets with them then on a weekly basis, and we kind of let them lead those meetings. We ask them to be their own CEOs, but we're there to kind of push them a little bit if they need it, or help them redirect if there's something getting in their way. So we get to spend a ton of quality time with them and encourage them throughout the summer, which is super fun. We also give them mentors. So we have peer mentors who are alumni of the program, which we now have 6 years of. So we have a ton of wonderful people still working in their businesses that give back to our programs, as well as professional mentors. So people throughout Iowa and elsewhere who are professionals in areas that they need help with, whether it's their industry or just having a work-life balance, whatever their needs are, we try and match them with a professional mentor to help guide them through that. We also have education. That's a bulk of our program. So we spend 11 weeks, 5 days a week with education sessions. We are here at the core facility, and we're bringing in people from all over to help teach on different topics. So we cover everything from customer discovery at the very beginning, all the way through marketing and websites and finance and legal. Our goal is that by the end of the summer, they have a toolkit that totally has them prepared to either launch their business or scale to the next level. But while we do that, we also have some fun networking activities and also time to share with each other and get feedback. And that's probably my favorite part of the program. This group especially has been very great about supporting each other and giving each other constructive criticism throughout the time that we've been together. So we asked them to get in front of these people that at first they barely know and then become good friends with and open up and share about their businesses, put their websites in front of each other and get feedback, which can be a really hard thing to do and just put yourself out there. But they have been phenomenal from literally week one at doing that for each other. So thank you all for being such a good team of people and working together. Yeah, that deserves a round of applause. And then we also did some fun things. We took some field trips. So we went to EntreFest in Iowa City for a day so that we could network with the larger Iowa ecosystem. We also spent the day in Des Moines with Drake and the University of Northern Iowa so they can meet entrepreneurs from other schools. And we also had a large portion of the cohort go to the Okoboji Entrepreneur Institute. And so they've gotten a lot of experiences to have fun, but also meet people outside of just here in Ames to network with. We give them space to work out of. So our space is here in the core facility, and we have kind of a co-working space in that room. And the students are able to utilize our space all summer long. They're able to kind of make this their home base and have access to our team throughout the day. And another shout out to this group. You all have been some of the best at spending your days here. So I haven't had to beg them to work out of our space. They've wanted to hang around and work in teams and work together. Every time I would come out here, I'd see half of them at a table together, communicating and helping each other on things. So that has been so rewarding for me to see, and I'm really proud of the community you guys have created with each other, and I hope you can continue that past today, this summer. And we'll help them do that because after the program, we actually give them space in the Student Innovation Center on campus. So we have a room that's dedicated to CYstarters, so they'll get their very own key, and they'll get to use that as co-working space while they're still students here. Our goal is that in between classes, they can hop in there, work on their business, collaborate with each other, and just have a space where they can continue to meet and grow together as a team of entrepreneurs. And then we also give them some money. So like I said, we have them kind of intern for their own company. So individuals get $6,500 and teams get $13,000. And as Judi said, that would not be possible without all the support and help of all the colleges. So thank you to everybody who's helped make this program possible. And lastly, we hope to create a really strong community. And they create community within themselves. Every year, I'm always impressed by how quick the group of people become friends with each other. But then there's also the larger community of the CYstarters alumni. We meet as a group once a month just to give each other updates, to collaborate, to help, whatever we can do to support each other. Entrepreneurship can be lonely, and so our goal is to create an opportunity for people to come together and relate on the different roadblocks and things that you might face when you're doing your own thing. So now I want to say thank you to all of the people who played a role to make this program happen. So first I want to give a shout out to anybody who was a mentor this summer. If we have anybody in the room, can you wave for us while we give you a round of applause? Thank you all. And next, all of our educators. We had so many people come in and help us teach on different topics. So if you helped educate the CYstarters this summer, can you raise your hand and we'll give you a round of applause? And next, we have professional services. So the CYstarters got 30 minutes with each of these different areas, totally free to be able to get help on their business on topics that are really intimidating and usually slow people down. So huge thank you to our professional service partners who donated their time to us. So if we have anybody here, can you raise your hand? And we'll give a round of applause. And lastly, our very own, the peer mentors, the CYstarters alumni. I know we've got quite a few of you in the room, so if you could raise your hand for us and we'll give you a round of applause. And lastly, to my friends that I've gotten to spend all summer with, it has been just a pleasure to get to spend every day for the last 11 weeks watching you all come together and grow and build. And I'm just so proud of all the progress you guys have made. I'm going to miss seeing you all every day, and I can't wait to have you all show off your progress to everybody here with your pitches. So thanks for a wonderful summer, and don't be strangers.
Thank you, Micah. You will eventually get to hear from them, I promise. We just have a lot of stuff to do first. So just so you know, this is a day of hearing from the students and celebration, but we also have awards today. And so I want to explain what those awards are before we go into the presentations, and then we'll award them at the end. So our first award is the CYstarters Alumni Awards. And if you're an alumni of CYstarters, even if you weren't a peer mentor, just stand up or wave, because there are a lot of them here, which is great, or they're supposed to be anyway. Thank you. Awesome. So after the first cohort, we decided it would be really cool to award an alumni of the program, and we had a couple people apply. It just gets bigger and bigger every year. So we're actually, thanks to Kimberly Baith, who owns Golden Openings in Des Moines, has provided a donation to help support our CYstarters Alumni Awards, as well as the Papa John Center's gifts. So we'll actually give 3 $2,500 awards to CYstarters alumni this year, which is awesome. So we will announce those at the end of the program. One of the things we like is when students give back. So Clayton Mooney, founder of Nebulum, AKA now Clayton Farms, I think that's public, really has built a company and is very big on what he calls building in public. But he's going to give an award out of his own money to the alumni or the current CYstarter who has been transparent about building their business in the Midwest and has been very open about the barriers that you have to go through. And so he will announce later today an award for a current cohort member. And we will give 2 very special awards this afternoon, which we call the Ted Bair CYstarters Awards. One award will be for a current student and one for a CYstarters supporter. So Ted was a Hawkeye that actually came and worked at Iowa State. He just could never retire. He stayed with us for a long time. He kept retiring and coming back. He grew to love Iowa State, and we grew to love him very, very much. He was the director of the Small Business Development Center many times over, and passed away very, very unexpectedly from a heart attack on February 20th of 2022. He was really the original accountability for our very first CYstarters cohort. He met with every student. He loved this program. So Ted's children, Whitney, Carter, and Alex, and his partner Cameryn, after money was gathered after his service, they decided that that money should be given to the Papa John Center for Entrepreneurship. And so we have named the CYstarters Award after Ted Bair, thanks to that family and all of Ted's friends' gift. So we award that based on what we have come up with were the 6 characteristics that describe Ted. So any of you who knew Ted, I think you'll agree, Ted was very passionate about everything he did. He was passionate about people, his clients, his work, very much his family, the community. He was respectful of others and kind of demanded that. He had a tremendous work ethic. He went above and beyond all the time. He said yes a lot. He was a wonderful cheerleader for everybody, especially his grandchildren. It was really cool. And even his beloved Hawkeyes. He was a giver, and he would say that all the time. He said, I'm a giver, I'm a giver. And he truly was. And personally, his friendship was a very special gift to me. I'm going to get choked up here. And to use Ted's own words, and he told his kids this, and he told anybody he worked with, he said, if you're going to commit to something, you got to show up. And he was very famous for saying, you got to show up, you got to show up. And Ted showed up every day, every time. And so today we will award both a student and a supporter who really embodies these characteristics that describe Ted. So that is coming at the end of the program. So are you ready for presentations? Almost. So you all don't know this, but we have planted 5 mystery judges somewhere in the audience. They each have $1,000 that they get to present to their favorite CYstarter presentation of the day. You don't know who they are, but we'll find out later. Oops. Oh, yeah. So you don't know who they are. You're going to find out later who these people are. I have to thank Kristen and Kurt Jaden because they have provided the funding for these CYstarter Awards. And Kurt is the president at HNO International, so Office Furniture. They can't be here this weekend, but they have provided the funding to make this possible. So no pressure to all of you, but 5 of you need to stand out today and impress our 5 mystery judges. So with that, I will let us get to the presentations. And I think first up is Casmium. So they will introduce themselves, do their presentation, and introduce the next CYstarter. Casmium, come on up.
Hello. Test. There we go. Okay. Well, thank you all for coming. We appreciate you all being here on behalf of the entire cohort. We'll begin. So I'm Henry Shires.
I'm Pradyumna Dahal.
And this is Casmium. Over 200,000 Little League, high school, and D3 college teams in the U.S. alone want to utilize something known as data analytics, something that allows a coach to view player statistics such as strengths, weaknesses, and other insights that allows them to get the wins they're looking for. The pro leagues are huge in this as they want to use data-driven stats to judge their lineups and rosters for each season. And the youth leagues are noticing this performance benefit, but they're lacking resources to do so.
What coaches really want to do is go out into the field with their players and help them improve the most they can. However, with these lack of resources, whether it's staff, money, knowledge, they just simply can't do that. They spend hours at home crunching numbers, putting data into Excel spreadsheets, while they want to be out with their players, actually helping them.
And that's where we come in. Our team of 5 was asked in 2020 from Valley High School to create a digital analytics solution to replace their old pen and paper stats. This took us about a few months to implement into their summer of 2020 season. And as we were doing this, we realized that current solutions on the market simply weren't doing it, and teams would rather go back to that crumply old piece of paper and broken pencil. Things like Dartfish, as you can see on this iPad, are extremely difficult to use and hard to figure out. Things like 643 charts are only designed to use spray charts and not things like pitching data or batting information. And things like TrackMan are designed for D1 athletes and pro leagues that have thousands of dollars to throw at a product, not necessarily something a youth league can use.
And what we really strive to do is make sure we save them time and give them stats that they can use in the game. We save over 55 hours throughout the season of going at home, spending hours at night, putting that data into the spreadsheets and crunching the numbers. We want to eliminate the problem of pen and paper. We want to give them a guided step for their players to collect and a guided step for them to use that data to analyze and help their players.
We do this with a 3-step process, starting with a player utilizing our mobile application in a game. They collect each event that occurs and then presses one button. This gets sent to us. We do automated calculations in the cloud in a few seconds, and then we output information such as analytics like spray chart heat maps to the coach so they can utilize this in their personalized dashboard. Additionally, in Iowa, there's a requirement where coaches are supposed to submit stats to the state through into a database called Bound, where the team is located here in Ames. But this is timely for coaches as well. They either have to mail in their paper stats or use another one of the current solutions that we talked about called iScore, which is also difficult to use like Dartfish. So what we want to do is, since we already collect this information on our app, we want to utilize one click again for teams to send this information to Bound rather than using the paper.
This summer, we really focused on customer discovery. We went out into the dugout, talked to coaches, talked to players, and made sure we knew exactly what they wanted out of Casmium. We made sure that we're collecting the analytics they want to see. We made sure that we can provide them in a format that they can understand and use in the games. All these teams are local, and as we go forward, we really want to make sure that they're happy and we expand to other teams throughout Iowa.
So what's next after this summer? Well, we plan to continue to connect with partners like the state athletic associations and Bound so that we can implement a simpler way for teams to report stats to the state. Additionally, we want to continue our relations with the 4 teams that we talked to this summer, continue into next season or their off-season practices, as well as do additional customer discovery for softball leagues to be inclusive, travel teams since they have a huge passionate fan base, and out-of-state teams that work in the spring league as their regular season rather than summer like Iowa. And finally, we want to continue product development as we research features that that customers want to see.
What we would like from you is if you're interested in baseball or know someone that's interested, please scan our QR code and get in touch with us. We would also like you to stop by our booth, try our app out. Even if you're not into baseball or don't know much about it, we really want to make sure the app is intuitive and as simple as possible. So we would still like you to come to our booth, try our app out.
Thank you so much for being here today and for listening. Next is Micah Walker with Stratus Throws.
Big. All right. Good afternoon. My name is Micah Walker, and I'm here representing Stratus Throws. Stratus Throws is a track and field oriented company centered around the throwing community. This is sports like shot put, discus, hammer throw, and weight throw. Now, before I get into the ins and outs of Stratus Throws, for those of you guys who aren't familiar with the sport, I want to show you guys a little bit of what the sport is. So here we have the rotational shot put. And by the way, I want you guys to keep in mind about the forces these big athletes are putting through their feet in every motion. We have the gliding shot put. We have the discus throw. We have the hammer throw, which is my outdoor event. And we have the weight throw, which is my indoor event. So the issue with the current throwing shoe market is that there's 3 main problems. There's a lack of innovation, customization, and inclusiveness. Essentially, throwing shoes have been the exact same for over 10 years. They come out with very little colorways so that athletes can match their school uniforms, and they come in narrow fit. And we are big guys. I'm 6'2", 300 pounds, and I have a size 14 shoe. So as you can imagine, me and narrow shoes do not match, right? Here's a current example of the throwing shoes on the market. This is 6 years of innovation right here. And as you can see, besides a few aesthetic differences, there have been really no changes. And so what we aim to do differently are the velocity ones. We want to increase the inclusiveness of the throwing shoe so that it really grips and contours to every athlete's foot. The accessibility of the throwing shoe, that so athletes can throw them on and get to practice. Currently, it takes about 30 seconds for us to put our throwing shoes on because they're very narrow. Customization, we want to have a 3D printed upper so that we can make new colorways, so that I can have a red throwing shoe, and you and I can have a purple throwing shoe, and Iowa can have a gold throwing shoe if they want to. And we can also, with this, we can also build a throwing shoe for every individual athlete for a little bit of a premium, so we can print it for a shoe for a foot like me that's very flat. I can print something, and for a foot that's very narrow, I can print something out that fits them better too. And lastly, safety. In February of this year, I actually broke my foot throwing in a pair of team-issued throwing shoes because they were so narrow. And for me, the only time I felt comfortable was when they were beat up and well past time to throw out. But that's the only time I could actually feel comfortable and confident practicing. And so that's one of the big issues that I want to change. But I want to go just beyond just the throwing shoe. I want to build the track and field community. I haven't met a single person who hasn't picked up a blunt object before and just chucked it because they wanted to. All we are big guys and big women who got really good at it. That's all. I want to build camps so that young athletes can come up and throw with the collegiate athletes, because there's a big misconception on what it is when you get to the college level. For me, I never threw hammer before until I got to college, and that's something I wish I would have known before. And I want to build scholarships so that big athletes like me don't have to pick between sports like football, who have a little more money, and they can go throw in college like they want to. But this could not be done by myself. I have a wonderful team found by Judi. She found a team for me because I came here at the beginning of the summer with an idea and a vision, but no real way of how to make this into action. And Peter and Mike have been wonderful. They're with the design program here. I went to them and I pitched in front of them, and they came up to me personally, and they wanted to work with me this summer. It's been an amazing experience. They did a phenomenal job. They made a prototype for me, which you guys can check out at my table and a little bit after this, and I appreciate everything that you guys have done. You guys are amazing. This has been Stratus Throws. If there's anything you guys take away from this, come support the track team. Come out here, understand throwing. Come see us run. We have amazing men and women, people top 10 in the nation. Come check out the prototype. I have fabrics over there that you guys can touch and feel and see how we're doing things. And, support Stratus Throws. Thank you.
All right. Hello, everyone, and good afternoon. My name is D'Essence Morris, and I'm the entrepreneur, aka hustler, behind the emerging apparel brand, HUSTLR.ESSENCE. I'm 22 years old, and I'm a recent graduate from Iowa State University with my bachelor's degree in apparel merchandising and design. I'm super passionate about helping people and creating, and today I'm super excited to share with you all my most recent creation of HUSTLR.ESSENCE. So a little bit behind the name of my brand, just that hustler essence that I've carried with me throughout my life, that is a derivative of what my brand is based on and what I want to exude through everything I create and produce through my brand. So the problem that I see is the fashion industry is one of the most leading harmful in pollution. We just are tons and tons of pollution and a lot of things ending up in landfills, and that's harmful to our earth. So I really want to find people who care about this and incorporating fashion into sustainability. The next issue is that with fast fashions on the rise, there are things like copy and paste designs, so we're just seeing less and less unique pieces. I really want to find those people who want to stick out, and embrace individuality and express themselves each day when they dress. Lastly, I found that consumers hold low confidence within themselves within sustainable practices like thrifting and upcycling. So that's where HUSTLR.ESSENCE comes in. Through HUSTLR.ESSENCE, I want to provide a community to those who don't want to dress regular. They want to stick out. They want to embrace their differences and really express through dress. So through this, I'll have a line of product offerings that are high quality, cut and sewn by myself, that are personalized through processes like stenciling, dyeing, upcycle processes, and tons more of those innovative processes that really make you personalized and unique to what you have on. So I have two sub-services that actually differentiate me from other sustainable brands or just apparel brands in general. We first have Sustain Essence, where through here I will allow consumers to kind of facilitate a co-creation process with me, maybe send in some garments that have just been sitting in your closet that you could see maybe becoming a new life. I'll take the design lead and then revamp and talk with you, really find out what you may want, put that in collaboration with things that I have, and extend the life of that piece, maybe even doubling or tripling the life. And up here pictured, I just want to show some pieces that I've recently created from 100% recycled fabric. These pieces were created from things like fabric, or blankets of excess fabric, and then jeans and a lot of just old fabric. So then through Thrifty Essence, I will thrift for you. This is a thrift service as well as styling. So I found, as I mentioned, a lot of people just are insecure about walking in the thrift store and finding things that are stylish or unique to them. So I'll take on that process and, once again, facilitate co-creation process and see what you really want when you're thrifting and find a unique bundle and get you just what you want in hopes. I'm marketing to a unisex crowd of young, socially conscious creatives that really want to stick out when they dress. We want to make a change and really just feel cool and confident and express ourselves through what we have on. So I found through market research and customer discovery that a lot of these people are on college campuses. So I'm marketing to college campuses within Ames, Iowa, Cedar Rapids, Des Moines, and Iowa City area. So why HUSTLR.ESSENCE above other apparel brands that are sustainable or just, apparel brands in general? I say so because I have it all going on in one place. We have that fashion, sustainability, and that super just unique aspect to what I provide. We have a bold aesthetic that sticks out. We have a special offering of our zero waste pillows, meaning that 0% of the fabric produced in my brand will actually be put to waste. It'll be used to create a unique one-of-one pillow, once again, just really enhancing that uniqueness of my creations. And then lastly, what I find most important is really just being interactive with my customers and hearing what they really want and being able to really provide them. That makes me feel great. So I'm currently in phase 1 of my marketing. That's marketing exposure for me. I really want to get out there through some strong social media content, creating a community, lookbooks, and then hopefully in the near future, I would love to start facilitating some sales through my website, pop-up shops, and getting some good customer reviews to really, gain that respect and let people know what my brand is about. So over the summer, I have been blessed to get a lot of help from CYstarters and make some foundational steps for my business. To begin, I found it very important that I've been able to really conceptualize what my business means to me, as well as share that with you guys, because when I first came in here, I wasn't too sure how to do that, so that's definitely enhanced. And then I've also been able to enhance my equipment, staying true to the quality I want to provide, do some customer discovery, and make some great connections. Carrying on, I really just want to keep producing, marketing, getting that exposure, setting up that facilitation of the consultation process so I can best hear my consumers, and then hopefully some fundraising and pop-up shop opportunities in the near future. So I want to thank you all and ask you to please follow my Instagram and visit my website, as well as if you have any pieces in your closet that you're thinking of that are a waste of space that you could see a new life out of, please stop by my table, leave your email, and we can have a conversation just to give you some ideas or even, have me upcycle some things for you. But even if not, I would love to just sit here and chat with you guys. Then my next ask is if you guys have any fundraising opportunities, I would love to connect because in order to create, you got to make money. So that is one of my main goals as well. But I want to, in conclusion, say to embrace your cool, your experience, and your hustler essence. Thank you. So up next, we have Schafer and Reiman with Spock Sanctuary.
Hello. Hey, I'm Reiman.
And I'm Schafer. And we are the founders of Spock Sanctuary. We chose to found Spock Sanctuary because Cole and I have both had long histories of getting to work with animals and as such a deeply rooted passion in learning about and educating about the lifestyles and care needs of these animals.
We've talked about us, but let's talk about the real star of the show. This is Spock. Spock inspired us to do what we do because of our experience adopting him back in 2020. We went through the typical pet store, system of asking a bunch of questions. Questions like, how big of an enclosure does he need? What kind of bugs does he like? And how big of a water dish does he need? What we soon found out is a lot of that information is used to sell an animal rather than provide that animal with a long and happy life. For example, chameleons can't drink standing water. They can only drink water that drips down or mists, where they would, in the wild, get it off of dewdrops on leaves. What we found out is that for the weeks or so that he was in the pet store, he had very little water. If we hadn't changed that, it could have been catastrophic, and that's when we knew we needed to make a difference.
Spock is one of many exotic companion animals in the United States. And while we were able to make changes to give him a better life, not every animal gets that. 75% of exotic companion animals don't survive that first year after being purchased from a pet store. And that can be attributed to almost half of them being purchased without their owners doing proper research before making the purchase. And that's after the extreme bottlenecking that happens where only 28% of exotic companion animals survive the journey into America to be sold out of these pet stores. And even more of a reason that we should be giving them a long and happy life. This is where Spock Sanctuary comes in. We provide several services, including our 3 pillar services of a rescue, education, and nutrition services. Our supplemental services are a captive breeding program, extended boarding for owners that are going out of state, and even supplying proper resources so that owners aren't spending money on tools that aren't helping their animals.
When it comes to funding, we've got a few options. We have adoption fees for animals going to new homes, as well as any supply kits that those owners need. We have extended boarding for any owners going out of town. And then we also offer a sponsorship program where people can sponsor our educational animal ambassadors. And finally, we have our Girl Scout cookies of what we do, the NutriCubes.
I'm currently studying animal ecology and dietetics here at Iowa State, so that gives me a strong foundation to perform as an animal nutritionist for Spock Sanctuary. With that, I provide a service called NutriCubes, which is a product that is an affordable, healthy, and convenient option for owners to feed their animals. NutriCubes are prepared into a ice cube shape and are very simple to feed because they just have to be taken out of the freezer and left to thaw. Once they're at room temperature, they're ready for your animal, and that gives you more time to get to know your animal and interact with them.
Our first rescue was taken in January of 2021. We were obviously accepted into the amazing CYstarters program. We are hoping in the future to open up a public facility as well as train facility staff. And then down the road, if we get rehomed any animals that we can't rehome back to the public, we would like to get an APHIS certification through the USDA and open up a zoo. If you would like to meet one of our animal ambassadors, or even consider sponsoring one of our animals, so that way we can better educate about these animals that are often misunderstood, stop by our booth afterwards. Thank you very much. Next up, we have Jake Hanson with Northwest Iowa Quality Meats.
Alrighty. Hey guys, my name is Jake Hanson, and the business I've been working on this summer is Northwest Iowa Quality Meats. We aim to provide an excellent farm-to-table experience through our locker service and also retail meat sales in the Okoboji and Spencer area in Northwest Iowa. A little bit about me: I grew up on a farm in Northwest Iowa. Right now I'm a senior in Ag Studies. I have a lot of industry experience at Tiefenthalers and Holstein and also at the Iowa State Meat Lab. And then I was blessed to be accepted into the CYstarters program and also the Rural Entrepreneurship Academy. My mission is to create a farm-to-table experience for my customers. That's really important as people are starting to be more curious about where their food comes from. And I really try to implement that in my business. Being known for having excellent products is a big part of my business, and the part that I learned a lot about in customer discovery is people would come back and also pay a premium price if there was an excellent product involved. And then selling an experience and education to my customers is also a big part of what I want to do. Like I said, people wanting to know where their meat comes from, and then also where that meat comes from on the animal, as well as how to cook it and things like that. So in the industry, there's quite a few problems. 4 companies control 80% of the market, which has created sort of this monopoly that's kind of hard to adapt to. And then our producers have tried to solve this problem, but they really haven't done it in the right way. So they've created these big packing plants to try to compete with these 4 companies, but they just can't keep up and get undercut. And then there's food insecurity, which is a problem because these packing plants, as we saw with COVID, a lot of them were understaffed and they had to shut down. So I'd feel comfortable having 500 pounds or so of meat in my freezer rather than being in that situation. And then we have the price gouging. So where we are with that is the price for live beef, is way down here, and then the price for a product like ground beef is sky high. So that is also produced by those monopolies. The solution. So we're trying to find niche markets within our community. That's a big part of what I want to do. And products that also have been fed and managed in different ways. For instance, grass-fed or antibiotic-free. And then incorporating local producers. That's a big part of what I want to do in Northwest Iowa. We also, I want to give back to the community that has given so much to me. I think that's a really important part of what I want to do. So, and then creating that quality farm-to-table experience is also just so important to me. So here's a little bit about my business model. So my initial harvesting fee, and then we're going to have fees like hanging weight for beef, which would be $1.25, and then $1.10 for pork. This is pretty standard in our locker service. And then processing charges and rendering fees are just pretty basic charges in the locker. And then retail meat sales based on market prices, which is also standard. A few opportunities that I've been graced with. So Governor Reynolds keeps pushing out and the USDA keep pushing out new grants for small processors like myself, which I have been looking into. And cities that are recruiting new businesses, such like lockers, have approached me, and also, which is just basically a tax exemption for a couple of years. And then there's also an existing locker for sale near me, which I'm interested in buying or building. I haven't really decided that yet. And then another opportunity is most lockers are, they're scheduled out into 2023 and then headed into 2024 already. This creates a huge opportunity for me, but a big problem for a lot of the producers. So that's one of the big parts of my business. And then farmers around Northwest Iowa, which this might be the coolest part of my business, and I think it really assesses the need, have offered me financial assistance, which I think is really cool. So some traction is industry experience. I have a lot of industry experience working at the meat lab. Those guys are great. They've helped me out so much. They've taught me a lot. I've reached out to investors. I've created relationships with contractors and also equipment companies, which is really cool. So I've kind of learned the prices and what I want or what I'm expecting in the next couple of years when I'm going to build. And then I've learned HACCP and SSOP guidelines, which are pretty standard sanitary procedures, and also like hazard analysis and critical control points, which is just things you got to know for the business. So that's my traction so far. If you want to contact me, there's my contact information, and I would appreciate it if everyone stopped by my table, had a beef stick, filled out my survey, or if you just want to talk about meat, that's cool too. Thank you, guys. Next up, we have BitBasement with Hayden Havelka.
Hello, everybody. My name is Hayden Havelka, and I'm here with BitBasement. So as a little bit of background about myself, I wanted to get into the game development industry from a very young age. So as a middle schooler, I got right into game development and tried to make a game all by myself. And as a surprise to probably nobody, I failed miserably. So the good thing from that was I learned a lot, and by the time I came to Iowa State, I joined the game development club. And there I discovered a couple problems that game developers were having in the local industry. So the big issues are that game engines which is what I'm going to go into in a minute, are something that a lot of game developers struggle to learn. And when they do start to learn them, they don't often learn the design principles behind them and how to make a good-looking video game. Because after all, video games are an interactive medium and they're an interactive art. So the solution was to develop a game engine for a toolkit for game engines for game developers to use when making video games. So just really briefly, for those of you who are wondering what the heck is a game engine, it's just a very simple software library that allows a game developer to write code in, and so they can port it to something like a game system or your computer or even your mobile device. So where I come in is I'll take a big piece of code in a game engine and I'll shrink it down really small to just one line, and that makes it so game developers don't have to think so much about what they're designing, and it takes care of a lot of the design aspects for them. So just a couple examples here of what I might be doing. Here's just very simple, a text box. You can change a couple things. You make the text dance around, change colors. You can change the size of the text box, change the font, all sorts of stuff like that. Another example is a shader. This one's great. It's where you take a piece of code and you apply it to an image, and that takes care of animations for game developers who don't know how to animate. Here's just an example of it in a game. This is pretty cool. The character will run around in the grass, and the grass will move out of the way, and this is all using a shader to warp those grass images. So next, one's a little bit more complicated. Imagine a deck of cards, if you will. If you take one card, it's just a flat card, but if you stack a bunch of cards on top of each other, they kind of make a block. So that's all I'm doing here with this, and this again cuts down on animation time and it makes it simpler and easier to use. And last up, for the game engine I'm currently working on, I've developed a 3D system so you can make three-dimensional games more like modern ones instead of the flat pixelated ones of the older days. And this is all great, but the big thing is, what am I going to do? So moving on, now that I have all these great tools, I plan to develop a video game from start to finish. And using the tools that I've now developed for that game, I'm planning to take those to market with the game itself so I can now sell the game, and then game developers can look and say, hey, that's really cool how you did that. I'm going to now borrow the toolkit that you use, these simple one lines of code, and I'm going to build a game with them. So I know I've inspired a lot of you to start your game development journey yourselves. But in the event that you haven't, feel free to stop by the booth. I've got the game I'm working on there. You can play it, check it out, give me some feedback, and thank you all for coming. Follow me at BasementBit on Twitter. Next up is Miranda Ekern with Ekern Designs.
Have you ever had that perfect gift idea in your head or wanted to give that really meaningful gift in your life but didn't know where to go to create it? Hi, my name is Miranda Ekern and I'm the founder of Ekern Designs. Ekern Designs is a drinkware company that puts designs and sayings on different coffee cups, wine glasses, beer can glasses, and coasters so that every cup shared creates community for long-lasting memories. The problems that I was noticing is that it's really hard to find unique and personalized gifts for people in your life. You go to the store and you just kind of see the one-size-fits-all cup that doesn't create uniqueness, and you can't really personalize it for people in your life. And then also, it is hard to find community in life. So I created Ekern Designs in July of 2020 during the pandemic, and during that time I was moving back home. My sisters were moving back home, and we were also living with my grandma, and so who was getting chemotherapy at that time. And so we were being super cautious of who we were meeting with, who we were seeing, and so that we ourselves weren't getting sick, but we also weren't spreading it to my grandma. And so during that time, I kind of noticed that I was losing my sense of community and losing friendships during that time. And so I started creating mugs to send to people so that I was able to create community and hopefully put a little bit of joy in their life. And so that's kind of how Ekern Designs was created, was an online shop that offers you to customize, so you're able to create those unique and personalized gifts, but also has designed drinkware that you can use in your everyday life, from dinner dates to coffee dates, so you're able to connect with people, create community, but even after the fact, look back on the cup and remember those times that you shared with people and remember those happy moments. And so kind of how we are different is that we do offer a very wide variety of different products that people will find and use. And then we also have different techniques that we use within our drinkware called sublimation and etching that infuses the design into the drinkware so that it makes them dishwasher safe, so they will last a lifetime. We really care about giving really high quality cups so they will last a lifetime. And so our target market is primarily women around the 18 to 40 range who really love to drink coffee, tea, wine, and beer, really have an eye for design, and really care about giving meaningful gifts to people in their life. And so our milestones that we've hit so far is that we've had over 160 sales, we've had all 5-star reviews, and then we're selling products in the Innovate 1858 store on the Iowa State campus. So our growth through CYstarters has been huge. Primarily before CYstarters, I was selling through Etsy, but with CYstarters, I was able to create my own website. I was able to create new products that are more on the go because people are now able to go out into the world and meet people outside of their homes. And then I've been able to increase my traffic through my Etsy site with marketing and just spending more time with my business. And so our next steps are hopefully to do craft shows, meet more people face to face. I would love to hopefully implement a coffee community, because that is something that I love, is to connect with people over a cup of coffee. So hopefully to implement that, and then also doing more retail stores and soon going into Tiny Joy Creations. So I want to thank you. Please stop by my booth to come see any of my products, ask me questions, or come buy any of my products, and please help me create more community on the world today. So next up is Jassma'ray Johnson with Simply Samone.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jassma'ray Johnson, and I'm the CEO and founder of a socially conscious cosmetics company, Simply Samone LLC, where we are inclusive, healthy, and accessible. Currently, I'm a small business owner. I'm an aspiring therapist, as well as a poet, author, and a part-time chef. Clearly, I have a passion for a lot of different things, and this stemmed from my childhood. I grew up in Des Moines, Iowa, and although a lot of people in my neighborhood look like me, I quickly started to realize that Iowa as a state and America as a whole did not. I realized that I was different from the majority, and a lot of my features started to be made fun of. My lips were made fun of oftentimes, and that made me feel extremely insecure about myself. One day in 4th grade, I decided that I was going to change that narrative. I went into my mother's kitchen, and I created my very first handmade lip gloss. Soon after that, I started to love myself a little bit harder. I quickly grew my confidence until I returned to Iowa State University. I started to feel insecure about myself once again, being a Black girl on a predominantly white institution. Oftentimes, people like us are ignored, we're silenced, and we're walked over. So similar to what I did in 4th grade, I once again decided that I was going to change that narrative. At 18 years old, from the dorm room of Friley Residence Hall, my brand was created. I created my very own handmade lip gloss, balms, and scrubs using vegan and organic ingredients to make those who feel silenced feel heard and feel seen. My middle name is Samone, a name of French origin meaning to be heard, and that is exactly what my brand is doing. So now let's dig a little bit deeper into the problem. When we look at traditional beauty ads, we oftentimes see features that like the ones on the screen. We see paler skin, smaller lips, and blue eyes. We don't see a lot of the features that look like mine: brown skin, bigger noses, big hair, and big lips. This is a problem because corporations are telling us that in order to be beautiful, we must be white and that beauty only has one dimension. In 2019, Black Americans purchased more beauty products than literally any other group of consumers, yet there is still a huge lack of products made for us and by us that offer proper representation. My brand works to change that. I create my very own handmade lip glosses, lip balms, and lip scrubs. What started in my dorm room moved to my apartment, which I now call my laboratory, where I plan, I produce, I package, and I ship each and every single one of my products. I also participate in pop-up shops and sell through my online website. Simply Samone is working to change the now and the future of the beauty industry. We want to encourage others to feel unapologetically beautiful in their own skin, while also encouraging, uplifting, and inspiring. We are working to make beauty inclusive and accessible for any and all people. Simply Samone is more than just a brand. We offer and we embody real representation. We're also healthy and accessible. I gain trust in all of my customers by being transparent about what I put in my products as well as the processes that I do. While traditional beauty brands are working to push a product, Simply Samone does more than that. We also educate and we influence. This summer, I was able to create my very first scholarship where I was able to award $500 to a woman of color from my high school. Simply Samone wants to make sure that we're inspiring others who look like me. I've partnered with organizations like Iowa State Daily, as well as the Omega Noop chapter to host service projects and different educational workshops on campus. I'm working to push Black excellence. I want others to know that their dreams don't have to be dreams forever. They can turn them into something tangible and make them a true reality just like I did. Simply Samone has been sold in 24 out of 50 states within the last 2 years with a 43% returning customer rate. With a 43% returning customer rate. My customers are not only getting quality products, but they're getting a wholesome experience knowing that their dollars are being used to make a change. Currently, Simply Samone has just secured its first retail location, and we are now available in a grab-and-go style at Pure Luxe International Salon and Spa. In the next 60 days, we will also be available to purchase at the storefront TJC in Ames, Iowa. Go ahead and pull your cell phones out and scan my QR code to follow me on Instagram to see more content and behind the scenes of what I do. If you want to purchase healthy lip care products, be sure to stop by my table and shop #SimplySamone today. Thank you. Next, I will be introducing Julio Delgadillo with Buoyclub.
Okay, I'm really nervous. All right. So right in the middle of the pandemic, I was stuck in my parents' basement drawing a bunch of doodles and really just keeping time of boredom. And I really just didn't know what I wanted to do because I was so bored. But in the process of everything, I was getting laid off my job. So I was like, oh my God, I need to think really quick to come up with some funds. So I looked at my last paycheck and I was like, let's just dump it into something that I've been really looking forward to and really investing my time into. So, hi, my name is Julio Delgadillo. I'm an industrial design senior over at Iowa State University. I own a clothing brand called Buoyclub based out of Des Moines, Iowa. A little bit about the brand. So the name is Buoyclub. It may seem a little weird and unique, but I'll break it down for you. So the word buoy, I envision all of us as buoys in the same water, keeping afloat. And the word club, so when you put on a t-shirt, you feel a part of a family or some sort of club. I wanted to feel some sort of togetherness when you put it on. The logo is made up of 2 question marks and a smile. So the question marks resemble, are we happy that we're above water or sad that we're struggling to keep afloat? Regardless, the smile is there to keep you back in the moment and back into reality. Buoyclub exists to make clothes for young adults. I specialize in exclusive and limited pieces of garments. I like to take pride in everything being locally designed and screen printed here in Des Moines, Iowa. So I saw opportunity where a lot of bigger cities on the coast, like Los Angeles or New York City, were doing brands that sold out, but really nothing like that in the Midwest region. So I like to keep things limited, especially cater to young adults here in Des Moines, Iowa, and in the Midwest region. A little bit about why I started. So when I was younger, I could never afford the cool clothes that all the students wore in school. I was a little left out, but now my mission is to make cool clothes and affordable for everyone and for everyone to feel good in as well. Our advantage here is our lookbooks. I like to take pride in having full direction of photo shoots, whether that be captivating a different aesthetic, a different environment, and using multiple models so that every consumer can feel a part of it. The shoes that I just did with Converse, I screen printed 10 pairs of shoes and they sold out in 10 minutes, so I'm pretty happy about that. Some more accomplishments include being featured on Paxson for a design. I sold out my first pop-up shop in 3 hours with 80 t-shirts. I was the #1 business from College of Design at Iowa State University in 2022. Sold out a pop-up shop in downtown Des Moines, Iowa, and every online drop this year has sold out in less than 15 minutes. A little breakdown of the process. So it all starts in here, obviously. I go and try to jot it down in a notepad or a sketchbook as quick as I can. I then transfer that over to my iPad where I can get a full rendering. I then decide if I want to add color or shading or hatchwork. And then after that, I make a t-shirt. I then do some sort of marketing thing where for this recent drop, I threw t-shirts around the city over light post to kind of get a unique attention to the drop. I then do a photo shoot with it, and then I release the photo shoot on our Instagram, which goes into our business model. So I like to build up a hype for a collection using blurred designs, teasing the models or using slight teasers to kind of keep the consumers on their toes a bit, and then using models who can influence the trend to a crowd mainly on Instagram as well. A little bit about how we separate ourselves. So I like to take pride in everything being original designs from this hand right here, everything being directed back to our mascot with a message, everything locally sourced and screen printed, and limited inventory then creates our greater demand as well. Buoyclub has fulfilled 400 orders from cities ranging from Fresno, Los Angeles, Seattle, Iowa City, Ames, and even in Des Moines, Iowa. In the next 60 days, I plan to have a collaboration with Innovate 1858 at Iowa State University, which I'm really excited about in September, and a collaboration with For Real, which is a restaurant from downtown Des Moines, Iowa, next month. But I'm really excited to announce that I have these shirts at my cocktail table if you want to go and grab a t-shirt. This is an early access release to everyone here, but nonetheless, stay updated on our Instagram at Buoyclub, and we hope you buoy up with Buoyclub. Thank you. And up next, we have Collin and Jacob with Campus Town Trading.
Alrighty. I'm Collin Gauck.
I'm Jacob Kautman.
And our company is Campus Town Trading. We provide stock market education and assistance to young adults looking to become more financially confident and free. So a little bit about me. I'm a sophomore in the fall, majoring in finance. I've been involved in the stock market and online business world since about my 8th grade year. My dad is a financial advisor here in Ames, and growing up, I was always able to kind of ask questions and bounce ideas off of him growing up, and that's not something everyone really has, so that's kind of where our idea came to be.
Yep, I'm also from Ames, Iowa. We went to the same high school over at Gilbert. I'll be a sophomore here in the fall, majoring in education with a minor in entrepreneurship. So my mom actually teaches and coaches at at Gilbert, sorry. That's kind of where I got the education background. I've been doing stock market stuff since about 10th grade as well, so I've been able to kind of combine those and make it into a business. So the problem, new investors lack knowledge. They've never done this before. They don't know where to find information from, how to create a brokerage, even how to invest in companies. These same investors lack experience. Like I said, they've never done this before. They don't know the first thing when it comes to risk management or what risk management is in general. So these same investors feel alone or lost. Oftentimes, they won't have a community or friends or family to talk to, which is kind of what we provide. New investors lack time. Everybody has time. It's one of those things where you can put as little or as much in as you want.
So how do we solve this? First thing we do is we consolidate information. New traders don't really know where to look for information, and the internet has a lot of good, but a lot more bad information. What we do is we take that good, accurate information, condense it, consolidate it all in one place. Second is we provide a community of like-minded individuals. So just like how someone surrounds themselves with friends and family with similar interests and passions, we do this in our community so they can connect with other students going along their financial journey. Third is we provide real-time trade examples. This is a big education aspect of our business. They can use these real-time trades to kind of understand strategy. And lastly, whether you're a free or paid member, you get access to answer or ask any questions you want, and they'll be easily answered. So a pricing model. We are a freemium business model. On the free side, you get access to one public chat room that everyone has access to. You also, as I mentioned before, can ask questions at any time, and you'll get answered. On the premium side, they get a long list of tools, resources, and features. Some of the top 3 are, 1, the exclusive analyst. This is that one-on-one personal time that they really enjoy. Second is that daily live trading, so every day we are active, providing value to our members. And lastly, the exclusive chat rooms. This is basically for the connection part of it. And prices, we are a subscription-based model. The prices get cheaper the longer the duration. This is to encourage longevity in our business. So competitive landscape, there's 2 things that we do better than our bigger competitors. The first thing is the free active community. So even though these members don't provide monetary value for us, they do provide activity every day, which does look good for our business and for premium members. Second is the individualized education, that one-on-one personal time. This is something that it's harder for bigger servers to do. So as we grow, we want to continue this. Lastly is the prices. We're not the least expensive, but not the most expensive either. Our goal here is to do a Netflix-style pricing model where we can increase prices gradually while also providing value and retaining our members.
Yeah, so from May 24th, the beginning of CYStarters, we had about 1,400 members, about 21 successful payments, and not the greatest social media. In that 11-week period, we were able to gain 2,300 members, 87 successful payments, and substantially grow our social medias. So moving forward, we want to continue off what CYStarters has provided us, not only the professional and personal connections, but also the marketing tools and resources we have learned. So as you can see kind of behind me, our monthly recurring revenue, we're growing each month and are profitable. Financial education. We've had multiple professors reach out to us at Iowa State wanting us to come in and speak in front of the classes and kind of talk about what we do. Connections. We have about 3,700 people in our community across colleges across the U.S., Tulane, LSU, Texas A&M, and many, many more. So we want to continue to expand our network and get to as many colleges as we can. Our booth is just right over there. If you guys have any questions financially related, you guys can come talk to us.
So thank you. We appreciate you guys coming out. We encourage you guys to check our website and connect with us. Thank you.
So next up, Parker Jameson with Formed Grips.
Hello, my name is Parker Jameson, and this is Formed Grips. Our story begins with a father and son 10 years ago on a trip to North Carolina. On the flight, they were rolling Play-Doh, rolling it, squeezing it, playing around with it to stay distracted and occupied on the long flight. While they were messing around with the Play-Doh, they realized the Play-Doh was grooving and moving to the curvature of our unique hands. And each person's hand is unique in structure depending on gender, race, ethnicity, genetics. And at that time, the father patented the product, and 10 years later, that son is pursuing it as a company. That son is me, and this is Formed Grips. So the problem that I ran into is that products are designed around a purpose, not the person. So companies push out tens of thousands of products every day, and this leaves little to no room for individualization because products are pushed out in such high volumes. They're trying to make as basic of a product as possible so they can reach as many customers as possible. So we come in with an aftermarket product that provides individualization, comfort, control, and hopefully this last one, preventative measures for carpal tunnel and arthritis, which are huge struggles across the board with many different industries. So this is our product. It has high temperature resistance, high tensile strength, no external heat needed to mold it, but starts off as a formable material. This material is medical grade, and it starts off as two components, a part A and a part B, almost like a putty-like material. Once combined evenly, you have 10 to 20 minutes to play with it and design it around whatever product or device you're applying it to. This 10 to 20 minute window is perfect because I always just play around with it for 5 minutes. I squeeze it, adjust it, and just let it sit. After that time's up, your product is ready to use. We're patented, we're unique, and we're ergonomic. There's no product out there like us, and we're able to benefit multiple industries. This is just a few of them. Meatpacking, hunting, assisted walking, golf, biking, cycling, construction, gardening, manufacturing, hand tools, etc. You name it, we can help it. So why did we sell on the assisted walking industry? So it is well documented that prolonged use of assisted walking devices causes diseases like carpal tunnel arthritis because the pressure is now being taken off your feet and being redistributed into your hands to keep you stable on these devices. So the stress is even more evident within these devices. Also, the baby boomer generation, which is the largest generation to date, is reaching the age of retirement, so 65 and up, where use of these devices is much more needed, and there's tremendous growth in this industry. The global assisted walking industry is worth $3.4 billion, and here in the United States alone, there's 6.8 million people that own assisted walking device. The progress that we've made through this program, we've created a website, market research, product prototyping, legal status at LLC, etc., etc. When I entered this program, we were a concept. Now I'm happy to say we are a company with a product. In the future, our goals are marketing and sales. Now that we have this platform that I've built through this wonderful program, now I'm going and building upon this platform that I've built with the amazing resources and people that I've met through this. So are you ready to get a grip on life with us? This is my contact info. I'll be back there. If any of this interests you, or if you see any applications for this in your own life, I would like to talk to you about how our product can help you. Up next, we have Armand Gupta with Creative Big Win.
Hello. So raise your hands if you've ever sent an email, text, or a message on LinkedIn. Let's put those up. All right. Now keep them up. No. Keep them up. Okay. Now put your hands down if you were able to get a successful response without ever having to follow up. Exactly. Here, the thing is, you're not alone. Businesses all across the country have that same exact issue where they have to send 8 to 10 different pieces of communication on average before ever getting a response from a customer or prospect. My name is Armand Gupta, and at Creative Big Win, our solution is a software as a service that automates sending voicemail drops, phone calls, text messages, LinkedIn message tasks, and of course emails so that businesses can reach out to their customers wherever they may be in one simple to use platform. Currently, in 2022, the market size for marketing automation is placed at $5.8 billion. And by 2027, it's expected to increase to $9.2 billion. We're hoping to capture just a tiny sliver of that market at 0.25%, which should result in about $230 million of value. Now, this isn't a new idea or a new concept. We have different competitors in the space. The only difference is that none of them combine all the different B2B channels that businesses in 2022 are on. Some have just email, some have email and text, some have email and LinkedIn message tasks, but none of them have the option to be everywhere that those customers are on. So in addition to just being multiple channels over just email, we also want to outposition our competitors on price. In 2022, it costs next to nothing to build, launch, and test software. And for that reason, we want to capitalize on those savings and pass it on to our customers. Our target market includes freelancers, entrepreneurs, and small businesses under 10 employees. And for those people, $50 to $100 a month can be a big difference. And so we want to pass those savings on so that those folks can get the opportunities that bigger players in the market get. Lastly, and the one I think I'm most geeked out about, is having an AI-based predictive analysis feature. We want to take all the data that comes in, which emails work, which emails don't, which text messages get replies and don't get replies, are those replies positive or negative, take all that data, put it through a machine learning algorithm, and pump something out so that sales teams can improve their communication and write better sales copy. So our go-to market strategy is 3 phases. First phase, which is the phase we're currently in, is developing an actual beta of the product. We want to launch that, or we plan to launch that by April 23. When we get our beta out, we want to get feedback from our customers and from those beta testers, use that to make iterative improvement, and then launch an actual full production version by April 2024. So our team is comprised of me, Avanti, Noah, and Connor. They're all students at Iowa State. Noah takes care of our front-end engineering. Connor helps with back-end. I take care of everything else, and Avanti helps with user interface design. We have all the different necessary components on our team to actually make this product successful. So over the summer, we started at pretty much nothing, just a concept, similar to Parker. But over the summer, we were able to do a lot of market research, customer discovery, hear from people that we actually want to talk to and sell to, get those folks settled into our beta program, into our email list. And so we're really thankful for that opportunity and the framework that CYstarters provided us to actually make that happen. So if you or anybody you know uses any sort of digital communication platform to reach out to anybody, we would love to just chat with you. My booth is over there. I have like a Coke sitting there. You can have it if you want. Yeah, I'd love to talk to you. Thank you. Next up, we have Philip Gorney with Safety Scan.
So my name is Philip Gorney. After being on job site before I can even walk and have my own construction company for 4 years, I became one of the co-founders of Safety Scan. But before we get into what Safety Scan is, I'm going to get real for a minute. Because ever since I drive my dad to the emergency room, because a piece of wood got into his eye while we were working on our job sites, I looked at safety a little differently. I've learned that each year 7 million other workers get injured while they work. And this ends up costing everyone involved a total of $171 billion annually. And what's more is that according to Occupational Safety and Health Administration, OSHA, it's estimated that upwards of 70% of these injuries could have been prevented with the proper use of personal protective equipment, otherwise known as PPE. And now you might be wondering, well, why is this happening? Well, right now, to make sure safety procedures are being followed, signs get put up that don't get read, confusing safety sheets get created that don't get completed, and safety managers walk around these massive job sites that can't possibly see everything that's happening. The problem with these current solutions is that worker compliance to safety regulations is an industry problem because the current solutions are too passive in enforcing safety. And this has led Safety Scan in search of a better solution. Safety Scan has developed a software that's able to detect if workers are correctly wearing their safety equipment. And I know what you're thinking now. Oh no, Big Brother watching every step we do. But rest assured, we are not Big Brother. Similar to like the seatbelt in your car, Safety Scan gives an audible notification to a worker if they're missing their safety equipment. And just like the seatbelt in your car, it doesn't notify a safety manager, just like the seatbelt doesn't alert the police. Here you can see what Safety Scan will be seeing behind the scenes. Safety Scan will also be able to detect hazard conditions like smoke and spill before a catastrophic event happens. We'll be able to monitor worker ergonomics to make sure your body's not in an at-risk position of injury or that you're giving yourself a disease like carpal tunnel or arthritis. From going out to the field and talking to people in the oil, insurance, student labs, and most importantly, the workers themselves, we've learned that there's a dire need for this type of technology. Here you can see the modern-day manufacturing lab at one of our industry partners, Marelli. Marelli is a large automotive manufacturer for companies like Nissan, Toyota, and Honda. By partnering with them, we're able to get our technology into the field and get real feedback on how life-saving this technology can actually be. Now, the value provided for the worker is reducing the amount of injuries and, most importantly, the lifelong trauma that comes with suffering an injury. For employers, it'd be lowering their insurance premiums and giving them a safe workplace certification to help with worker retention. And finally, insurance companies will be able to save billions in false claims, saving them and the employer's money. Now, the beauty in our approach is that there's no day-to-day change in the worker routine, meaning no lost time on the job floor, leading to no lost revenue. For an employer, our custom pricing strategy allows both small and large manufacturers to have access to this type of technology. And because we're located right outside Des Moines, the second largest city for insurance, it gives us plenty of room for partnership in the insurance industry. Here's a roadmap of how we plan to scale Safety Scan over the next coming years. To date, Safety Scan has raised over $21,000 in non-dilutive funding. And to allow Safety Scan to exponentially grow over the coming years, I couldn't be doing this by myself. I have a team of 2 other co-founders with a wide array of technical experiences. And this semester, we are looking at hiring 5 more Iowa State students to help with software development. To help with technical and outreach challenges, we have an array of advisors to further help us through any of the trenches that we could be stuck in. So I ask for anyone that knows someone in the labor industry or even themselves and has any feedback to give about our life-saving technology to come up and talk to us. Because with Safety Scan, when you forget, we remember. Next up, we have Miranda Keith with Tiny Joy Creations.
What's going to get me in the eye? Okay, cool. A recent study found that about 65% of Americans feel like they don't have a community. And I'm not talking about the town that you live in or those people in the house next to you, but I mean a place where we can come together and form real connections with other people. Finding this community and connection can be difficult, even in diverse and growing places like Ames. After I moved to Ames as a teen parent, I was quickly thrust into attending Iowa State University full-time and raising 3 kids in the middle of the pandemic. And during this time, my eyes were open to just how vital human connection is to us all. My name is Miranda Keith, and I'm the founder of Tiny Joy Creations. I'm a recent graduate of Iowa State University, majoring in Human Development and Family Studies, and my minor in Entrepreneurship. Less than 1% of all teen parents across the country will go on to graduate from college. But my kids had inspired me throughout any adversity that I had faced to look at that and overcome it with creativity, innovation, and most importantly, joy. My kids' names are Tobias, Jameson, and Cooper, which is where the T, J, and C in Tiny Joy Creations comes from. Tiny Joy Creations is a storefront here in Ames, Iowa, where I'm able to connect our community with local makers and artists through different experiences, services, and handmade products. I started Tiny Joy Creations by crafting out of my dining room, which we ended up eating dinner on the living room some nights when it was overflowed with craft products. I used that money from selling those products to slowly build my business and get it where it is today. And making products is still a big part of what I do. I handcraft a variety of products in my storefront, such as apparel, stickers, decor, and more. And I found a need for our local artists and makers across the state to have a place to put their items, because not everybody can have their own storefront. I currently partner with over 12 artists and makers from across the state to have their items in our store, and I'm excited to say that we will be having Simply Samone and Ekern designs soon in store. Every single outsourced product that we have in our store comes from an Iowa small business, and that is very important to what we do. I also offer a variety of experiences such as unconventional painting classes, craft parties for young children, and game nights. The experiences are where the community building really happens. People are able to come to my storefront, find an activity such as painting or crafting where they have a common interest, sign up for it, and then build friendships along the way. We also offer a variety of services such as photography, event planning, and product customization. And I didn't mention before, I have 5 dogs who make wonderful models. As you can see Dorothy here. One of our most popular services are pet photography. Because we have a little something for everyone, we have a fairly large target market. Our storefront seems to target Story County residents between the ages of 20 to 45 years old. And when our clients and customers come to us for a service or a product, we're able to find other ways that we can also benefit them. One example of this is how these 3 little guys scored me a customer for life. Their mom came to us and booked a photography session, and while she was in store, she began shopping around and found several items that she ended up buying that same day. And then on her way out the door, she noticed our event poster and signed up for several events. And I'm happy to say now that we do see her all the time. She'll come to markets that we're at to see us. She'll come in for events, as well as come to gift shop in our store. Since opening last November, we've had over $19,000 in sales. We've served over 800 customers. Thank you. And last month alone, we sold over 200 products. Right now, we sell the majority of our products when we travel to markets such as the Ames Farmers Market or craft pop-ups across the state. But while we're at these markets, we're not just selling products. We're building a community where I'm able to connect with my clients one-on-one, firsthand, in person, and then drive them to the other revenue streams that you see here, such as our events or photography, and that's how we really build our clientele. During my time at CYstarters, I've been so lucky to be able to connect with fellow entrepreneurs and professionals in the area, as well as complete many updates to my storefront. And I'm excited to say that the first weekend that I was at CYstarters, we attended a farmer's market where we only had around 78 people stop by our booth. And most recently, because of skills and changes that I made while learning at my time in CYstarters, we had over 250 people stop by our booth at the same market. We've also increased our online presence by redoing our website, as well as increasing our Instagram and Facebook social media platforms. After CYstarters, I intend to continue working on Tiny Joy Creations full-time, and soon we'll be able to host private events as well as expand our photography offerings. And we plan to stay connected in the Ames community through various events, as well as farmers markets and other community outreach. At Tiny Joy Creations, we're always finding new and innovative ways to best bring joy to our community. And if you would like a little bit of joy, feel free to swing by our booth and sign up to receive a free sticker in your mailbox. And you have an exclusive chance to sign up for a pet photography session today as well. Thank you.
Wow, congratulations to all of you. Clicker. Who ended up with the clicker? So did we deliver diversity? Did we deliver amazing? Are they incredible? Oh, I see some new other alumni here too, which is awesome. We knew this would be a fun day. They've been working on these, but y'all killed it, so way to go. So it's time for awards. And I don't envy the mystery judge's job today. So we are going to start with our Alumni Award winners. Our first Alumni Award winner came into CYstarters in 2017, Cohort 2, with one business, but today is running an entirely different business. The product? Dry Stack, a patented grain management system that dries and aerates grain using a smart or intelligent technological process. Company's been in the news a lot lately, garnering investment support and visibility, and is changing farming for the better. In its third year, with revenues of more than $3.5 million to date, this company is on its way to some really big future success. Our first alumni entrepreneur is Dylan Hurd, Haber Technologies. And I think he's here. Yeah, awesome. So, congratulations. You can pose with Megan for a picture. Way to go, Dylan. Is that light in the way, Sam? There you go. Congratulations, Dylan. Thanks for being here. Our second Alumni Award winner, also in the Iowa ag industry, aims to bring transparency to its customers in the food supply chain. This business is a direct-to-consumer meat company, not Jacob's, that started because of the strong pride the founder experienced on his own family farm, desiring to connect customers to the farmers behind the product. With impressive first-year revenues of more than $120,000, this company is on pace to double that for this year. This young entrepreneur has won numerous pitch competitions on a national scale, is a regular at Ames area farmers markets, employs Iowa State students in his business, and in October will be marrying his business partner and also a former co-CYstarter, Jessica Vlasteris, from Cohort 6. Please help me recognize Ray Schmidt of Farm Story Meats. You're welcome. Thanks, Ray. And hopefully you have some business cards here because it's got good products, I will tell you. Personal customer. Our third Alumni Award winner, also a master at pitch competitions, is well known not only in the community, but has a social media following that is global and viral, reaching over 250,000 followers. Products have been shipped to all 50 states and to other countries. CYstarters was instrumental in helping this young entrepreneur move from making individually hand custom products to creating a line of products that can be produced at scale without losing the beautiful creativity from this talented artist. Another CYstarter with greater than 120,000 revenues annually This business owner is now selling a broad line of planners, calendars, and notepads. From cohort 5, please congratulate Linda Tong of Linda Tong Planners. This is the most fun for us, is to be so proud of their continued success, which is great. Ooh, did we miss? Huh? What? Was Clayton? Is Clayton? Oh, that's later, sorry. Okay, awesome, Ted Bair. Okay, so the Ted Bair, if you weren't here earlier, characteristics of Ted. Respectful, I don't have him in front of me, but respectful, shows up. Awesome, you all can do it. We should do this as a song, right? So today we are first doing the supporter, and our supporter for Ted Bair is not only a great supporter of Iowa State's CYstarters program, but was also a very dear friend of Ted's. So David Spalding, you are our supporter of the year. So we can't give our dean a scholarship, right? But Ted was very famously known for going to lunch at Hy-Vee, and he could make the most efficient salad, and he always won paying the lowest amount for his weighed salad at the thing. So in your little envelope is a Hy-Vee gift card. You can go get lunch at Hy-Vee and give a toast to Ted. Our Ted Bair Student Award, we could have picked any one of these students, but we really looked for somebody who really had great attendance at all of our events, cheerleader for everybody else, extremely good work ethic, and all of those other characteristics that embodied Ted. And our CYstarter Student Award out of this current cohort is D'Essence Morris. I only wish you could have met Ted. He would have loved you. Clayton, do you want to come up? Former CYstarter. Nebulum. Do you want to say a few words?
Hi, everybody. I'm Clayton. I'm co-founder and CEO at Nebulum. We build direct-to-consumer indoor farms. I was part of CYstarters Cohort 1, and I've been mentoring in the past 6 years. This is Cohort 7, right? Crazy. Yeah, so I've been mentoring the past 6 years, and I've also recruiting past CYstarters. So half of the Nebulum team today are past CYstarters alum. So for my award, kind of had 3 boxes to check. 1, your company has to be post-revenue. 2, you have to be willing to help your peers, especially sharing what's working and what's not working. And 3, you have to have a big vision to really scale this thing. So the company and the founder that fit the best for this year's award for me is Buoyclub, Julio.
I haven't seen Clayton not in running shoes or a Nebulum t-shirt. You look awesome, Clayton. Very good. Okay, so, and the other thing to note, Clayton's giving back to other CYstarters, and that's really awesome. So thank you, Clayton. Okay, it's time for the mystery judges. You didn't get much time, and I know you have a really had a really job hard deciding. That was hard. That was super. It was all super. Okay, so our first judge is Adrienne Greenwald, Managing Director of VentureNet Iowa. She's probably really thankful that she was first. So maybe just a quick introduction of who you are, pick your person, and why you picked that person.
Sure. So Adrienne Greenwald, VentureNet Iowa. We administer the state of Iowa's public innovation funds. This was incredibly hard. Judi, you did not warn me. So I went with something totally arbitrary to pick my winner. As a native Texan, I had to go with Micah.
Thank you, Adrienne. I did tell you it was going to be hard. Mystery judge number 2. Anybody want to make a guess? No. Another one of our wonderful supportive deans, Laura Jolly, Dean of the College of Human Sciences.
All right, thanks. It was hard. This is so exciting. You all did such a great job. You're all winners. It's great. Okay, here's my pick. HUSTLR.ESSENCE, the Essence Morris. I think it was all about embrace the cool and getting in your closet and co-creating and moving things out of the waste stream. So I'm all about sustainability, so that's very exciting. Great job.
Tom was getting up. I thought you were going to give out an award, Tom.
Maybe I will.
Anthony Swindell is our third mystery judge. And the fun part about this, Anthony was a CYstarter cohort. What number were you? What year?
5 or 6.
5 or 6. So with a couple of businesses. So had a video production business, taught chess to a lot of Ames school students. But his new job he's going to tell you about, which is really fun for us because he's doing what we do now and giving back to other entrepreneurs. So Anthony, introduce yourself, and then you're a winner.
Hello, everybody. My name is Anthony. I work for Generator, and I run an accelerator program similar to this up in Beloit, Wisconsin. So when Judi asked me to do this, I was like, easy, right? Not so easy. Not so easy. When I think about those who become, the most successful in their business, they often have to have a really good story, a reason why they're doing what they're doing. They have to overcome adversity. And then ultimately, as Clayton mentioned it, they have to sell, and they have to be able to sell reliably. And this individual, I think, checked all of those boxes for me. So I would like to give my award to Miranda Keith from Tiny Joyce Creations.
Nice job. Thank you, Anthony. Good to see you. Donna Raymaker's on. Come on up. Donna is an extraordinary woman and has given not just a little, but a ton of time supporting our startup factory company. So thank you, Donna. Your pick?
My pleasure. Good afternoon, everyone. I chose to look for the person with presence, because presence can inspire and it can motivate, and you can lead in any situation that you're put in, whether it's with your company or whether you decide to join another company. And Adrienne stole my first pick, so I can't choose you again, Micah, but that presence that you delivered on stage was awesome. And so I have to go with my second pick, and which is not a second place finish, by the way. And I chose Buoyclub.
Thank you, Donna. These all come with a $1,000 scholarship, which is great, or gift, which is awesome. So in previous years, this award was sponsored by the Ivy College of Business. So because that was David Spalding, he always got to go first. So now that we have another sponsor, fair game, he gets to go last, which is the hard spot. But he's also a person who can make a decision on the spot, right? I think. We'll see. Come on up, David.
So I have been here for every cohort, seen every cohort pitch. I saw several of you pitch along the way. And I've got to say, today was just outstanding. The group as a whole knocked it out of the park, which made it easier for me since I'm picking fifth, because I didn't have to worry about like my top choice being taken and not really having another place to go. So with that as the background, I am going to go with somebody who blew me away today, as she blew me away the first time I saw her pitch, Jassma'ray, simply Samone.
I wish I had several more $1,000 because every single one of you deserves accolades today, so great job. I'm going to let Megan wrap this up for us. So Megan has been a tremendous leader. Thank you, Megan, for all your work on top of planning a wedding. August 20th, you can all think of Megan. She's going to be basking on her honeymoon in some warm place, and it'll be awesome, and you've deserved it. So Megan, thank you for everything. And Jean, and Sam, and Ashley, and the whole team. So Megan's going to close us up, and then stick around for some food and drinks and meet the rest of the students.
All right, so again, wonderful job, you guys. I'm so proud of you all. You should feel so good. You performed beautifully today. If you all want to hear more about their businesses, I hope you'll stick around and chat with them. They've all got tables set up over here with products or ways to get connected with them so that you can keep supporting them. Thank you for being here. This is an awesome, huge crowd, and it just speaks to how great of an ecosystem we have here in Ames. So thank you for being here. Thanks for being a part of this and encouraging them. And we have drinks and food over there as well, so please stick around and enjoy. Thanks again.